Mr. Paradise, Picking Paradise. We're going to continue with this belt ranking locks or lower level locks. I wanted to pick up on something I didn't get on my last video, which was I mentioned my Amazon kit that I bought. It was my first lock pick set, and it was like $20 or $30. I do not suggest anyone start with that or clear lock. I would again just start with the 141s. These are easy locks. The number 3s are number 5 laminated locks, and the 141s, which have spools. Those locks are going to be easy enough to get through if you just follow tips and watch a bunch of videos. As far as lock picks go, Salford makes a really decent lock pick for pretty inexpensive. Now, obviously, if you look at my pick case, you can see that I am a fan of Peterson. And that's not all my lock picks. I've got plenty more. I don't know why I have so many, but you know, you tend to break them, especially me. I break them because I use heavier tension than most. I get a better feedback response from heavier tension, and I like to feel the pin really set, especially on standard pins. Sometimes standard pins give me a harder time than normal pins, especially on like higher level locks, like the S alloys. Those are pretty high tolerance locks, and I have a hard time filling those standard pins set, so the heavier tension helps me. So Salford, just pick like hook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. You can buy the picks for like $2 or $3, and then they got a little sleeve over there. They're pretty comfortable. If you could afford the government steel, these are only $3 locks from Peterson. These handles are why I use the picks. They're awesome. The other ones, the better ones, the 18 thousandths and the other kind of steel Petersons are like $8 each. But tensioning rods, we'll go on that real quick. These are, unfortunately, these are $10, but these are my favorite tensioning rods. You can also make them out of wiper blades, which I've done as well. That's basically a wiper blade one. So the two biggest ones I use all the time is 50 thousandths. It's a 50 thousandths thick, and then 40 thousandths thick. I like to use these because they allow very little flex, versus there is one that I have that has a little bend in it. This one has the little bend in there. This one has a little bend in there. Sometimes when you're tensioning that, and it's like this tensioning, and you're on this side, it tends to add more spring, which some locks actually is a pretty good thing. But most, I like a nice rigid tensioning rod, so it's just straight here to here. It really increases the feedback through my finger. And anyway, so that's it on lock picks and tensionings, I guess. The 50 thousandths and the 40 thousandths is the two that I use the most. These pry bar types, these are $10 from Peterson's. But you can just use wiper blades or anything that comes in another set if you buy a set. But don't be afraid to buy the individuals, because really all you need is like, 3 or 4 picks. All I usually do is pick, when I'm using my picks, all I do is there's like 3 or 4 go-to picks that I just like. I also sand mine down. So like this, the government steel, 25 thousandths, I sand it down. This is about 17 thousandths or so. And polish it up. It feels a lot better after you polish them. And that goes for any pick, even the Salfords or cheap Chinese ones or whatever it is. So anyway, I wanted to pick the number 5 for whatever reason, because maybe I should have started with that last video. This one actually has a key, yay. And I don't really understand people that, do the key on the video, I guess, to say that it works and it's a working, functioning lock and you haven't messed with the insides. The bitting on this guy, we'll look at the bitting real quick. You can see if that gives you any kind of information. Trying to let it focus. unlock. I just go off feedback. Then maybe we'll pick this 530. Everybody seems to pick those and have those. And we'll talk about the tensioning on them. So we're going to use 50 thousandths. And I don't know, we'll try this. That's Peterson. I actually think this is a little fat for my liking. Nope. And she's open. So again, I just use moderate tension. I use a little lighter on this than I would like the 140s. I feel like it just requires less tension. And I get in there and I'm feeling for the pin that's kind of tight, and then I just snap up on it. I tend to feather that tension slightly when I do feel it binding, so that way I can see if it's going to set easier or harder, see if that helps me through. So we'll pick this 530 really quick. We'll look at the bidding on that guy. Now that one, I'm looking to see that bidding. It's like key pin 1, 2, 3 might be a little high. So let's see how quickly we get into this guy. Now this one, memory serves me correct, it requires a little bit of heavier tension because the spring in there on the actuator is pretty hard. It's a pretty heavy duty spring. And again, this pry bar, I'm going to use the big end so it can clear all this and get inside there. See if we can zoom in on this guy. Yes, this is the 50 thousandths. The other one was 40. It was a little loose in there. So we're gonna see if we can't focus a little bit here. I gotta see it. I gotta get comfortable here, nowhere near comfortable. I don't really like that pick. Go with a little bit of a steeper hook so that way I can get to that other pin back there. Yeah, so a little bit heavier tension. I would say moderate, I guess. Guess that one open, and it had 0 spools in there, or they were not active. I could always gut it, gutting it. You guys need to practice that. The little screw in there, you can watch tons of videos. This falls out, pull that out, get a little follower, follow it through. So let's see what we're at. We're at a 10-minute video, so probably pretty good for that. Talked a lot about the tips and whatnot. Taking a step up here, but I don't know. I feel like picking one. I haven't picked an American today. Been on all these. I haven't picked an 1100 today because I've been on all the lower level locks. So let's see how we do on this one. Now this one, talking about tension, maybe that's why I'm going to it. Very, very light tension. Some say just enough to hold a piece of paper against the wall. And again, I tend to use a little bit more. I'll reset there. I'm videoing, FYI. Alright, I'm just distracted here. My dogs come in playing. Okay, there's my fall set. Never forget about pin 1. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm under it very... I overset that back pin. Back under it again. I overset it. There we go, back to the false. We're going to avoid that back pin for just a minute. It was that back pin, but it wasn't ready to go yet. So that's 1100. They're chock full of spools and serrated pins, serrated driver pins. They're fun locks. I love these. But that one, if you notice, they're much lighter tension, and I was feathering it, driving it back and forth, well, letting it drive it back and forth. But the back pin was... Where is the key? The back pin was a really, really low pin, and it was really, really binding really tight. But I had to go back up first and find like pin 3 or 4. That was the pin that needed to be set first. And then once I did that, she opened. So anyway, I hope you guys are getting some good tips out of all this. My dogs are excited right now. They're playing. And we're gonna let you guys go, but hopefully these tips are helping people, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it.